Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build. I hope you are ready for another island living build because I'm still making island living builds. In one of my last videos I asked you guys if you're still up for this and many of you said yes, please don't stop making island living builds yet. So here I am making a tiny house because I noticed that indeed I haven't made a tiny house in Sulani yet. Tiny houses are generally a quite rare sight on this channel. I have a tendency to make huge builds or at least medium-sized builds, but yeah, tiny houses are kind of rare here, but I still like to build them. It's quite challenging for me though, because I'm kind of used to just add more and more and more and more stuff to a build until it's almost too much. I just love to add a lot of detail. I love to add lots of rooms and stuff, and a tiny house is just kind of different for me. It's a different approach building wise, but I had a lot of fun building this and I hope that you guys are still down for island living builds. So this pack is just giving me so many ideas for some reason. For example, when I'm thinking back to the Get Famous release, it was just so different. Everyone was super hyped for Get Famous, including me. I couldn't wait to start building celebrity homes. I was really excited and hyped and I had a lot of ideas, but then for some reason I kind of built, I think maybe 3 celebrity homes, and this was kind of it, or maybe 4, and then I was kind of not only running out of ideas, but I kind of felt like moving on from that pack and I felt like building other stuff. But with island living it's kind of different. I have so many ideas and also it's just so much fun to build with this pack and to build in Sulani, and I have a feeling that a lot of people are feeling the same, because when you just kind of look on YouTube or Twitter, so many people are still in island living mode, and with Get Famous many people moved on so quickly, so I feel like that this pack is kind of sparking a lot of ideas for a lot of people. And yeah, I hope that you are still enjoying this. So I decided to challenge myself and to build another tiny house once again. I got a comment a couple of days or a week ago or something if I could maybe build a tiny house in Sulani, so I thought, why not? That's always fun. I love challenges. Just like building base game builds, it's always something different to kind of step out of your comfort zone. So this house kind of doesn't look really that tiny. This always happens to me, but let me tell you, it's really tiny. I built the tiny house on the right side, and then on the left side I built a greenhouse, because not only did I think it's just something different for once, I just didn't feel like only building a tiny house and that's it. I wanted this to be a bit special, and I feel like gardening is just amazing in The Sims. You guys know that I live in build mode. I'm not playing that often, but whenever I'm actually playing, I always make my Sims a gardener. I love gardening because your Sim can stay at home and your Sim can work on their skill level and all that. They have a lot of time for that, and they can earn a lot of money with the gardening. Before I realized that it's a amazing way to earn money in The Sims, I always made my Sims a painter, but this is just amazing. I love gardening, and also after the season's release I really fell in love with gardening. It just made gardening so much more interesting, that you could kind of check which plants are growing in which season and all that. A greenhouse now made actually a lot of sense, because before that we didn't even really need a greenhouse, but now it totally makes sense because it depends which plants you're planting and which season it is and all that. I just love that, and I just kind of felt like adding that greenhouse. The house has 1 bathroom and the rest of the house is just in one big tiny, not big. I'm just kind of used to saying big room. It's a tiny room, and everything is just located in that tiny room, because there wasn't even enough space to kind of section off the bedroom. I only sectioned off the bathroom because it would be super weird to not do that. When I was taking the screenshots of this build for the video in the end, I was kind of asking myself, where are all the Sims, because I didn't see them. I was in live mode and I took the screenshots, and then I moved on to take the screenshots of the bathroom, and the whole family just gathered in that tiny bathroom. It was super weird. However, I sectioned off that bathroom, and then there is the greenhouse, so technically the whole build only has 3 rooms if you count the greenhouse. You can download this lot in the gallery as always, and of course if you want to, you can just get rid of the greenhouse, or you could turn this into another bedroom maybe, because there isn't that much space. As you can see here, I used a double bed, so there's enough space for 2 Sims. And that's it. So 1 to 2 Sims have enough space in this room. And here I'm starting to work on the kitchen. So I didn't realize that I should have actually removed a part of the wall behind the counters, because as you may remember from watching me build the exterior, there's a window and a little nook in the front, and I totally forgot about this. So in the end, I'm going to change that up a little bit. This eventually gave me a bit more space, I think 2 tiles, but 2 tiles can be a lot when you are furnishing a tiny build. So the wall that is right next to the double bed, I'm going to move that back 1 tile, so there will be enough space so 2 Sims will actually be able to enter the double bed. I playtested it, the kitchen works, the bathroom works, the double bed works, so it's fully functional. This is especially super important for tiny homes because everything is just so close together, and even if you're not the biggest fan of move objects, I think for a tiny home you kind of have to use that sheet. I use it all the time. I think I'm not even able to build anything without that sheet. I'm so used to it. But anyone who manages to build a tiny house without move objects, you are my hero. I couldn't do that because you kind of have to squeeze in everything somewhere, and you just have to make sure that it's somehow functional. I think it's super crazy that some people are kind of like pros in building tiny houses. I love you guys, you're just so talented. For me, as I said, it's kind of uncommon, but I did my best. Let me know in the comments down below how you like this build, and if you have any requests for future builds maybe. I added these shelves up there just so I could add more clutter and so I could make it look more interesting. I feel like it's tricky to add a lot of clutter to tiny homes, but clutter is what makes a build look really homey and lived in and beautiful, so I definitely wanted to do that, and just adding a couple of shelves here and there really helped with this. I added a couple of candles and bookshelves and all that, and then I added armchairs to the, I guess you could just call it the living room corner. I wanted 2 seats because there wasn't enough space for a proper sofa, but I felt like this house, it was made for up to 2 Sims. So 2 armchairs for the TV, 2 chairs for the table in the kitchen, and of course the double bed. So there is definitely enough space for these 2 Sims, and I think it would be difficult to kind of squeeze in a kid somewhere there. But as I said, you could just get rid of the greenhouse, just remove the planting pots if you want to. I feel like it's probably really different to play in a tiny house, and especially living in a tiny house in real life. I think that this must be super interesting. But I feel like if I lived in a house like this, I think it would be super difficult if you're living in a kind of cold climate. I think I would only survive this and stay sane if there's good weather, so I could spend a lot of time on the patio in the garden, just on the outside, because I think everything is kind of so crammed in. I think you kind of have to be the person for this, and I think it's super amazing because I kind of love this minimalistic approach to living, that we don't need more and more and more stuff and all that. So you just kind of have what you really need on a really small space. I love that idea, but I feel like it would be just too, I don't know, I just think I would start to feel claustrophobic or something. I don't know. So here I finally realized that there is a wall that I should remove, so I did that, and I also changed the layout a little bit then, because I didn't want to place the stove right in front of the window, because this would just look bad from the outside probably. So I changed the layout a little bit, and I was able to have a little bit more space for the bed, which was good because, as I said, there were 2 tiles behind that wall, and this is exactly the space that I needed. So I was able to move that wall over there and change it a little bit so there was enough space, and it's just perfect. Just the right amount of space, and it's still tiny. I also, as you can see, used a lot of bright colors, so it's a bit quirky and happy kind of. So this is almost it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video and this tiny house. As I said, you can find this in the gallery. You can find all the information down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a fantastic week and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye!